Let's look at how the author continues to show that the people who agree with him that abstract art are the best and people that like realistic art are just basically idiots. So here's what he's saying about the average person. He's saying for the average person, as soon as the purely aesthetic elements predominate and the story of John and Susie grows elusive, most people feel out of their depth. So let's put some of these pieces together. When he says the story of John and Susie, he's picking two very generic names. And Susie, it's not Suzanne even, it's just Susie, just a shortened form of the name. And the idea he's trying to evoke for this story of John and Susie, he's basically saying the love affair between these two. What he's saying, then what does he say? He says that when there's this story that they can relate to, when they can't see this story anymore, this love story between these two, they feel out of their depth. What that means is once that story is no longer there, most people are confused. Their simple, dumb minds can't handle this idea, and they're at a loss of what to make of the scene, the book, or the painting. In other words, when they can't connect in this way, they're confused, their little brains can't handle it, and they're at a loss of how to even make any sense of it. So he continues. Now he's going to take it one step further. He's going to say that a work of art vanishes from sight for the beholder who seeks in that work of art nothing but the moving fate of John and Susie or Tristan and Isolde. Here's what he's saying. He's saying that if people only are caught up in the story of these two, then they're not really able to connect with art. And people say, well, I don't like just stories of these two. I like fancy stories. That's why he brings in this second thing. He's talking about the story of Tristan and Isolde. He's saying that this sort of famous old-time romantic tale of Tristan and Isolde, he's saying that this is basically the same as this. Whether you like this or this, he says, is basically the same thing. These are just two forms of the same type of romance story art. And he's saying that if you really want to appreciate art, you need to be able to understand stuff like this. This to him is real art. These stories are not real, or are not art to him. This is just getting caught up in an emotional drama. It's important to notice that he basically connects this to this. So even someone who says, well, I like, fancy old time romances, he's saying, no, you're just as dumb as someone that's like saying, hey, I wonder what these guys are getting up to. All of these are methods to belittle the other side to promote his own side.